up, everybody? I got this AFM Club Racer dude on tonight. His name's Cy Deep. Obviously, his nickname is Deep, so he put that as his name. And what's up, Cy?
What's up, Dustin? Hey,
Deep?
everyone.
Should I call you
Whoever is
Deeps?
watching this, yeah, Deeps is great. That's my racing name, so let's go with that.
Your racing name.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the name known in my whole racing world. What's over bikes and everything.
Well, I
People know me.
started. I,
Yeah,
s- I started getting to know you a couple, 2, 3 years ago. You
yeah,
came out to Buttonwillow with us.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. It was a couple of winters ago, I think. But you were on some e-bike in my new racer class.
Moto e-bike,
Yeah,
Energica.
you're on that Energica Superbike monstrosity thing that's just like a
Yeah,
missile. And we could talk about it now and laugh about it, right? But like
yeah, yeah.
I remember because you missed the warm-up lap that day. And
I was.
you you were like really intent to like get going, off the start of the race. And you sent the thing out there and on the warm-up lap, like you yeah, like
It
I
was
can't
warm up
remember if
lap.
was it the first lap of the race or was it the warm-up lap?
It's the warm up lap. Warm up lap.
Yeah, you sent
I
it.
don't. I don't remember anything
Yeah,
after that.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
please.
I know you don't remember anything. Yeah, so you sent it on the warm-up lap because you were late and you made it to around the bus stop area at Buttonwillow and you tried to see what Elon Musk was up to with rocket ships and stuff, right? Like you had to try to check out the backside of the moon or something. You know, you high sighted that thing
I.
into orbit basically. And
I think yeah.
how this is how you and I met is you kind of got a ding on the head a bit, and I went out there to check on you, and you were out there swinging at us, just like I'm like whoa, right? And
I don't
yelling at
remember
us in
anything.
a foreign language that we had no idea what it was. And fortunately for me, I have an Indian guy on my staff that speaks Hindi. And he's like, dude, this guy's yelling at us in Hindi. I was like, what's he saying? And he goes, get the fuck off of me.
That's, you say that it's so weird. I actually don't talk Hindi at all most of the time.
Really?
I, I was,
Yeah.
I mean, I had a concussion. I was unconscious, and
Yeah.
I don't know what I was doing, and I don't know why I was talking in Hindi.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I don't remember.
Oh
I don't
man.
know.
Vin
Basically,
was like
I think
mortified,
I yeah.
you
I
know?
mean, I did some research, and I think basically I was going left-hander bus stop, high speed, and then exiting the corner, freaking high-sided.
Yeah.
Broke my collarbone, 5 ribs, 4 fingers.
Oh my God.
I only remember the hospital that
Yeah.
day, and then of course you're telling me all the story. You're
Yeah.
taking me to the ambulance and all of that.
Dude,
Man, like I don't freaking remember anything.
all I know is if you need somebody to get in a fight for you, you're the man, but you got to be knocked out.
I got that's right.
Dude, you had a hell of a right
I
cross. You know
got
what I
a
mean? I was like, wow. So,
completely different guy. Nothing like
yeah,
that. Maybe
dude.
when I'm drunk or I'm knocked off, my mind is messed up.
Yeah. Yeah, talking to your wife too. Like we told her what had happened and she was absolutely mortified. She was just like, I that doesn't sound like my husband. Are you sure that's my husband? I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. No,
well, does
absolutely
he look
not.
like this?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah,
It happens, like
yeah, yeah.
we all, head injuries are such a weird thing, right? I mean,
This was my first time. I mean I didn't never had a vertigo.
yeah,
I didn't even know what was a vertigo. From
yeah,
that crash, man, my ribs, collarbone, everything was healed up in 3 months.
yeah.
Vertigo took almost 7 months.
Oh man,
Every time
yeah,
I wake up, my head spins. Man, it was crazy.
yeah.
So
It's. I was talking about this the other day with another friend of mine, William Russell.
yeah,
He had a pretty nasty one, a nasty get off at Laguna earlier this year.
wow,
And we had a chat, and we were comparing notes, like, "Hey, where did you
yeah,
hit, and what happened to you?" And you know, I mean, it sounds like you were in the realm of where William Russell was, where vertigo and that kind of thing. I didn't have that. I saw double. That's all I got.
yeah,
I hit the
man,
double bonus. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's a thing that just kind of catches up. Yeah, yeah. Somebody's saying that
This
you're the
is.
chillest dude. I guess it's the Indian equivalent of Latin anger.
I don't know anything
Yeah,
about that.
Gonzo, thanks for that, buddy. Yeah, appreciate that. And I see Chris from Pin the Gas is here, and Cody Krager. He
Hey
says,
guys,
yeah, he
hey
says
guys.
CTE is a biatch. And yeah, dude, I'd have to say I agree with that. Uh,
Yeah,
the thing is,
and
it's like how do they know how to treat it, right?
yeah, no
Because they're
clue.
all different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
So
mean, it's hard. It just takes time. Whatever.
so
you know.
how
But
do you
man, I
get?
have to say that's like I mean, we got close after that crash, of
Yeah,
course, because you personally you dealt with me, and man, I
yeah.
actually want to thank you and the whole track days team. You did an amazing job.
Well,
Thank you so
thanks,
much. That was a fucking bad crash. One
dude.
of the bad crashes in my life. I had
Yeah.
worse than that 15 years back when I was airlifted, but this
Wow.
this this was bad. And but I actually know you for 17 years. I
No
always
shit.
I always did track days with when I came to SoCal,
Oh,
especially
you go to Willow and stuff back in the day?
Willow Springs, exactly, Buttonwillow, and then
Okay.
I did track days with you
Okay.
in my 20s, riding super sports, super bikes.
Yeah.
And then of course, I want to thank you to you've been doing this for 20 years, man. You have so much passion.
Yeah.
You're the one, the reason because of you guys we're living the dreams.
Well,
Getting to
thank
the
you for
track, and
that.
that's how we start racing, right? You got to go to the
Yeah.
track day and then get a lot of coaching and guidance from you guys so we can
Right
start
on.
racing. That's how the game starts, right? So
So
I mean,
how did you get started in this whole thing? Like you said you were in a small town in India in the 90s. Like how do
Yeah,
you
I grew up in India as a kid, of course.
Right.
But as a kid, all I wanted to do is, of course, in the dreams, be an entrepreneur, race motorcycles,
Really?
fly planes, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm basically, living the dream. Travel the world. I've traveled a lot.
Right.
More than 65 countries.
But
Um,
how do you get started? Like how do you like what was your first bike, dude?
man, I had so many bikes. When I started racing, I started with a CBR 600.
Okay.
But
No,
before
not when
that,
you
I
started
had
racing.
so
Like
many,
you're in
hundreds.
India, right? Like you're in India.
I didn't start in India. I
You didn't
started in
start in India. Where'd you start?
So I grew up, in the 90s. I was in India. Then I moved to England. Then I
Mhm.
did of course, I had my engineering degree and I have two master degrees,
Okay.
one in computer science and one in business.
Well, thank you for
Um,
making me feel like a dum dum. Appreciate that.
no, I mean,
Right?
So yeah, a couple of masters from England, and then I end up in US. I got a job and end up here. In my early 20s, I was in tech, and
Mm,
that's how I was like, you start working, you're too busy trying to, be in your, tech career and all that, and suddenly I'm like, what the heck, man? I had some money, I got to started buying a super bike, and started to do track days, and that's how everything started.
really? So you
Yeah,
started riding in England.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
So what
But
was your what track did you ride first? What was your first track
well,
day?
the track days, everything is here. I was only riding on the streets
Oh,
back in
okay.
India.
Okay.
I've been riding since I was 8 or 9 years, but little bikes, small.
Like
You know,
scooter, like
yeah, exactly, scooters. You
moped
talk about
types.
100 cc
Okay.
motorcycles.
Okay.
They were not when I grew up in India in the 90s. They didn't even have 250 cc or
Oh
anything.
shit.
They were
Okay.
all 100 cc two-stroke bikes.
Of
They're all
course. I
they're
mean,
all they're all
right?
illegal now, right? Well, that's how it
Right.
started. But man, like I said, I was born in India, but made in California. I say that because everything started in California. I love this place. That's why I'm here. Although I live in UK and Asia pretty often.
Oh, do you?
I travel a lot back and forth for business, but mostly in California now, raising a kid.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean that's how I started 17 years back. I was racing, and then one fine day, I think I was 29, I just quit my job. Basically, I was already like investing and doing a lot of, entrepreneurship in tech. But my core thing was this is my passion, motorcycles. I want to do something in this.
Right.
And I just quit everything and then moved back. And then we started doing something in Asian GP.
Okay.
Um, for a year, I don't know if you know Glenn Allerton. He's still racing an Australian superbike.
Yeah. Glenn
Uh,
Allerton?
yeah, so I was with a couple of my friends in Asian GP. Glenn was riding for the team,
No
and then
shit.
and I was with that team. And then 1 year later, then we're like, okay, we basically the idea was to promote motorcycles in India because I was trying to get personal sponsors for myself, so
Okay.
I can try and get to the Asian GP, European Championships and stuff.
Right.
But of course, that didn't go well. It's freaking expensive. That was my goal in the late 20s. Then I said, okay, maybe if we can actually start a team, and then once you have an Indian team, then you can slowly, uh, it would help the future riders to get there and do.
Right.
It's still not possible. It's not easy. But you know how the motorcycle world is.
Well, if it
Uh,
was easy, everybody would do it,
yeah, yeah. But
right?
anyway, MotoGP last year they raced in India. You remember?
Yeah.
So that was actually a Formula One circuit. They started racing in back in the days in 2011,
Okay.
2012, and then 2014, World Superbike was already in the calendar in India.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, so we already started, pitching the idea, like we have to have an Indian team in the World Superbikes because MotoGP is not easy. World Superbike is easier entry, and also they had
Even
a
though World Superbike's not easy either, bro. Got
that's
news for
true.
you.
I mean, two world championships, right?
Right?
What was
Yeah.
the easiest World Superbike?
Yeah.
There's only two world championships, World Superbike and MotoGP. So that's how it started. We basically it was my brainchild, my idea. I thought, okay, so Asian GP or World Superbike is the same effort because what we're trying to do, we're putting a team together. We got to go find investors, and then in our case in India, what happens is if you have a celebrity, it works out great because the
Hmm.
investors, not everyone is interested in motorsports, but they might be interested to be part of a team where a celebrity is involved.
Hmm.
That was the idea. So we didn't start with an investment. We actually started, with a guy called MS Dhoni, who was a cricket captain. He's a legend. He's a very big sports person. And he has a lot of interest in motorcycles. He's got
Okay.
like 40 plus super bikes. The whole world know he's a motorsport enthusiast. MS Dhoni. And then now, we pitched the idea to him, and then he was like, "Man, it's coming to India in 2014. Let's do this." It
Yeah.
took few months, to get an appointment with him, and all of that. And then he said, "Okay, let's do it." And
That's
then,
dope.
and then this was a great start. And then we go, we find investors, and we had the investor called Nandish. He, in fact, a little background about Nandish is he has a big graphic team in India, like 1,500 people. He's done graphics for movies like Iron Man and a lot of other movies. I think Pixar bought him out, and this Nandish was our investor,
Hmm.
and then it was great. We had a sports star, and then we had a investor, and then we had another movie star come on board, and then we started a team India in 2012.
2012, you started Team India, and in
We
what
made it
class were you racing in?
super sport. We
The
actually,
world
we were super sport. We were official Kawasaki team, and
What?
yeah, we were the factory super sport team for Kawasaki.
How
And
the fuck does that happen, dude?
because of the the whole program we put together, it was not just putting a team. We actually, dude, we created history. This is the first team in history
Yeah.
from India, right?
Yeah.
You talk about World Superbike is more than 30 years, 30 years now. And when we
Yeah.
started racing, it was 25th anniversary for World Superbikes. Now it's
No
over
shit.
35. Yeah, and
That's crazy, man.
MotoGP is 75. So yeah, so we created this team, and 2013 we signed up Kenan Sofoglu and Fabian Fore, both legends. Kenan five-time world champion,
Yeah.
Fabian one-time world champion. And actually, our team is the first to get Kawasaki a team championship in the Kawasaki history. Forget about our history.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
If
first World Super Sport
first World
Championship
Super
for
Sport champion,
Kawasaki.
yeah, we
Oh,
won the
because Sufanglu, Keenan
yeah,
was like
Kenan,
a Honda guy, right, for a long time.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
Kenan, yeah, yeah. Then he started riding Kawasaki, and Kenan Sofoglu, we got the team championship in 2013.
Okay.
We were world champions, and the first time a Kawasaki factory actually got a team championship through us.
Hmm.
2013. But of
Wow.
course, after that, Kawasaki won so many, with Jonathan Ria, legend.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you
Tom
see right,
Sykes, et
yeah,
cetera, et
yeah,
cetera.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Tom Sykes also won a championship. We also had our Mahi Racing logo on Tom Sykes and
Yeah.
Loris Baz actually.
Yeah.
I know Lotus, pretty well, since 15 years. And Loris
So
and Superbike team was Tom Sykes and Loris Bus, and Supersport team was Kinnan Sofoglu and Fabian Fore.
yeah.
And Supersport was completely run by us, and
Wow.
Superbike team is Kawasaki Factory, but we had our team logo also on Tom Sykes and Loris Bus bike
No
because
shit.
we wanted to have represent both Superbike and Supersport
Right.
when it comes to India.
Dude, that is
So
like
that's
the
what we did,
fact that
like.
your pit mates and the people that you race against at like Thunder Hill or whatever, they have no idea that you're
No
this
one,
guy.
I don't really, no one knows nothing. I don't really talk about it much. I mean, some people, my close friends know,
Yeah.
but there's no idea. That's why, I said, okay, you wanted to talk to me, and
Hell yeah, dude.
it's
Like we've been talking
definitely,
about doing one of these for a while, right? Like
there's
for
some
like a
history
year.
that no one knows about. I don't
Yeah.
want to go brag or talk anything, but this is what happened, and it was going great. It's not just racing. We had a huge business plan. We wanted to start sports restaurants and bars all over India. Start
Okay.
like motorcycle gaming sport. We were talking about making it $100 million plus business, and because it's a new thing, right? It's
Yeah.
just imagine a World Superbike coming to India.
Yeah.
It's huge for India, right? Now this is the
I
time for us
mean,
to
yeah.
get in and do something. And then luckily we were able to put everything worked out. And what happened is 2013 we became champions. 2014
Yeah.
we almost signed up for a $10 million deal as well. Great sponsorship from India, from a really big company. And what happened? 2014, they said that's it.
Yeah.
Same like MotoGP, what happened? MotoGP is not happening in India this year.
I
Not even next year.
so
When it's
what the hell
happening,
happened there?
it's all government related stuff, and you know, some kind of agreement between MotoGP and that. Maybe I should not talk about it. I don't know
I mean, who
exactly
cares,
what
dude?
happened.
We have like supposedly like Sampoli always says like we have 7 fans, dude. Like who cares?
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, this is the thing. Even Formula One back in the days, there was an Indian Formula One team, Force
Yeah.
India. There's a lot of things, but for these kind of events to happen, it's not just the track. You need full support from the government.
Oh, for sure, I guess.
It's not
It's
happening.
not the way it works here in the United States. The
Yeah,
government
yeah,
does
yeah,
not support you there.
yeah. Exactly. That's why Europe is huge, right?
Right.
And same with US, or US is not bad. Like Motor America is doing great,
Right.
compared to back in the days. But India is still growing now. Actually, there are a lot of young riders. They're trying to go to Europe and race. I see a lot
Hmm.
of them now, which is
Are
good.
they going after like the Red Bull Rookies Cup or something?
Not yet, but they're definitely racing in Asian GP and Spanish Championship, Italian Championship, and yeah, there's a lot of kids now they're trying to do. Maybe I don't know. Soon we
Hmm.
might have some good Indian rider.
So
There
there's
a couple of them have tried in Moto 3, but they didn't even qualify. So
that Gonzo dude's saying stuff again, and there's a couple of
hey,
comments
what's
in there
up,
about
Gonzo?
yeah. So Cody Krager was talking about that track, the Indian track, and
Yeah,
he was talking about how Jack Miller, had video on his Instagram about that monkey that he had in the
yes,
pits or whatever, right? And then talking about how tough it is.
it's not
Your
easy.
Gonzo
I
buddy's like, so you're saying there's a
I
chance?
yeah, I've ridden in Malaysia, India, and quite a few tracks
Yeah.
everywhere. I had a pig on my way and a snake and a bunch of things.
Oh,
It's
no
scary.
kidding. So if you
It's
crash out there, like
you don't know.
you gotta watch out.
I mean, even Thunder Hill 2 years back, I was riding my
Yeah.
Ducati and I had a snake
No shit.
stuck to my exhaust, little baby
Okay.
snake. And I go to Dave. He was doing my suspension, and then I didn't even look. I just went straight to Dave, and then Dave is like, "Holy, there's a snake stuck to your bike."
Yeah, you gotta
I
check
mean,
the sag on the snake.
yeah, it's everywhere, right? Like in Australia, you go and there's kangaroos flying around the track,
Oh
you
my
know.
god.
So you can't avoid this. It's just luck, I
I
guess.
mean, look, there was a guy that's a friend of mine, and this is like maybe right after the track days started, so it was like over 20 years ago.
Yeah,
And Buttonwillow, this is like before the the tower, and before the second row of garages, it was like the 8 garages, and that's it.
Okay.
And there used to be a concrete patch like in the last corner with a huge crack in it that almost everybody would follow off the track. So I'm at a Lance Kegwin track day,
Yeah.
and the night before the track day, my buddy was telling me, filling my head full of nonsense about these mysterious dust mites or something at the racetrack at Buttonwillow. And he's like, dude, if you end up in the dirt out there, those things will bite you and lay eggs in
Oh
you.
my God.
And I'm like, no. So this is the last day before they repave the thing. I tucked the front on that
Yeah.
concrete patch and ended up in the dirt. And no shit, like I ran across the racetrack, jumped in the
Oh my
shower,
God.
like took my leathers off and everything in the shower. I'm in my chones in the shower right there by the.
Oh man.
And my buddy was
You
like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm making sure." And he, to this day, like the dude still gives me shit about like
Buttonwillow is
believing that nonsense. So
Buttonwillow is one track you don't want to go off the track,
yeah, but
especially
all
when
that
there's
shit was all that
especially
was
when there is
bullshit.
water.
But yeah, yeah.
When there is water, early
Oh,
starting of the
100%.
season, you don't want to go off the track.
Yeah, you don't
You
want
know.
to go in Declan Lake. You know,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I don't know if you know Declan Van Rossmalen.
No.
Anyway, so
It's name.
Declan ended up in one of those lakes, and ever
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
then I've referred to that as Declan Lake out there. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's really something, man. Like you get a snake or a scorpion or some shit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It can happen anywhere. So yeah,
Yeah,
that
so
World Supersport.
your Gonzo dude says that you casually say stuff in conversation like, "Oh yeah, I texted
Yeah.
Gigi whatever all the time." Like
No.
like you just say that.
No, actually, I mean, I speak to a lot of MotoGP and World Superbike people that because I
Yeah.
work, I know everyone. In fact, there's a lot of technicians and mechanics who are under my payroll. They're all working in multiple teams, right? Still,
Yeah.
like really, they're crew chief for Ducati teams and MotoGP and World Superbike. So of
Wow.
course, I see when the team wins. Of course, I'm talking to MotoGP and World Superbike guys all the time.
That's
Uh,
sick.
you just make connections when you work, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, totally. So what do you I
that's
mean,
what
you're racing at mostly AFM, right? But you race
AFM and CRA now. Yeah.
okay. And
So
you've
that's what
done
happened,
Trapala series as well?
which one?
The
Chapala?
CVMA?
CVM, yes, I'm thinking about it. This
Yeah?
weekend I'm not going because I was testing 2 days back. I just had an injury. I
Okay.
basically hurt my wrist 1 month
How'd
back.
you hurt your wrist? How'd
And
you do that?
2 days back I was riding in T Hill with
Okay.
painkillers. And now I feel the pain. I'm not ready yet.
Okay. All right.
I was testing 2 days back and I wanted to do CVMA this weekend. But one is wrist and also my bike. I have a couple of power issues.
Mm.
I'm gonna fix it this weekend.
What's
Um,
your do you I mean, I don't know what bike you have anymore. Like, do you have
right
like
now
a
I'm
400 or what was it?
yeah, Ninja 400.
Okay. Is it
Yeah,
like the new 400, or is it the
it's not new. It's it's the older
the
one.
old
Not not yeah yeah
the older 400, the
yeah yeah
actual 400, not
yeah
the,
yeah.
you know, the
Not the 400
four
RR.
cylinder, yeah, like
No,
not
no,
the
no. But
600,
this, yeah, yeah.
right?
This is the first time I'm racing in 400 class. Actually, going back to that incident
Yeah.
when that happened 3 years back on your track day.
Yeah.
I was not racing for almost 7 years. I stopped and I was fully involved in World Superbike and
Right.
and then 2015 we closed the team. We sold it off, and then even after that I was kind of trying to maybe being some sponsorship money or something with Aprilia and BMW teams. I was
Okay.
trying to work with them,
Yeah.
trying to get like another a big person involved. But of course, I was still trying to be at the racetracks in MotoGP World Superbike, trying to see if we can do something. But then pandemic hit, and then I had a kid, so I stopped traveling. I was probably doing 20 plus countries every year
Oh, wow.
for almost 78 years. Work and also just for fun, I've traveled more than 65 countries. That is something I
Wow.
like. Every time I got an opportunity, in fact, between races, like if I was free, I just go to Ibiza, stay there for 3 weeks, I go to Barcelona, maybe stay for 2 3 weeks whenever you get time and just chill.
Well,
I
thank
was
you
doing
for
all of
now
that.
you give me reasons to hate you.
I'm just saying, sharing my life
Wow.
experiences.
That's
And
something,
then, of
man. That's
course,
awesome.
when pandemic hit, everything stopped, came to stop,
Yeah.
right? And
Right.
then, of course, wife, kid, and pretty busy raising the kid. But anyway, I had a lot of time because I was not traveling, anymore, and that's how I said, okay, Moto E started. Energica, they were racing Moto E and Moto GP.
Right.
In fact, I've been a EV enthusiast for a long time. In the last 9 years, I've
Yeah.
been, I talk about EVs. Last time I
Dude,
came
I
at
see you
track
on
day,
Twitter,
I
bro.
pulled my trailer in a Tesla. You saw, right?
You're
There's a lot
you're
of people who race don't like EVs,
dude,
but anyway, that's
your Twitter feed was like, "Hey, check out this new whatever." I'm like, "Dude, shut
EV,
up."
yeah. So in the last 9 years, I had three Teslas, four hydrogen cars,
Mhm.
three electric motorcycles, Energica and Zero. I love it. I'm fully into that.
Yeah.
And actually, that was I wanted to come back and race a Moto e-bike.
Right.
And at that point, still Energica was a Moto e-bike, but now,
Right.
of course, they're racing Ducati Moto E in the last 2 years. And I was like, man, look at this Moto e-bike. So I go get the Moto e-bike, and I started track days, and I was like, I show up for an NRO on a freaking Moto e-bike, which is probably the most stupidest idea.
I mean, I remember seeing that thing in tech even going, "What the hell am I looking at right now?" Like, you know, and you're like, "Oh, it's this and that." I'm like, "Okay, bro." You know? And then like the thing I mean, like watching you ride the thing, obviously before I mean, I was like, "Fuck, that thing eats up ground like crazy." So,
Yeah, yeah, that's what
massive torque,
happened.
right? Like
Yeah,
massive
yeah.
torque.
If that incident didn't happen that day, that crash, I probably would have been racing motor e-bikes.
Right.
That was my idea. But of
So
course, after the crash,
that was like your moment of
that was my
clarity,
that
like
was my that was my vision and focus to come back to racing after a
right,
while.
right.
But of course, when the incident happened, I was like 6 7 months. I'm out. I'm like, man, I don't think this is the right way to go. I mean, there's a lot of issues with EVs like charging infrastructure. They don't have superchargers for an electric bike at the track,
Right.
so it's way too complicated to charge and everything. If they had superchargers like Teslas, it would be great. You just charge between sessions and you're good to go. But
So you can't just
there's a
like
lot of
you can't just plug that thing into your Jenny, dude?
nah. That would not make sense. I
What?
could, but now I think
Dude, there was
everyone
a
will start
guy
laughing.
there was a guy back in the day, like, it's been a few years since I've been out at Chuckwalla, like, on the regular, but when I was helping running things out there, there was a guy that come out on some kinda electric bike, I don't know what the hell it was, but he had different batteries. So, like, that dude would charge up he would charge up a couple, 2, 3 of those things and then
Oh wow, that would
swap
be
them
great.
out
Yeah,
between
yeah,
races, and I'm like, I don't know,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, the guy
Mm,
I can't remember what his name was, but the guy was, like, super into the E thing, like, even more than you,
oh,
surprisingly enough.
maybe they were testing, a pre-production or
No,
a
no,
bike
no,
or
no, the guy was a
you know.
fanboy. The
Oh,
guy was
okay,
a
okay.
super fanboy, and he was, like, super into it, and he wanted to make sure he could make the weekend, so he had, like I wanna say he had, like, 2 or 3 different dude, it was like a RC car, it's like he had the
Wow.
strap and everything, and he would just
Yeah,
swap out this battery pack stuff and then,
yeah,
throw it out?
yeah, yeah.
So,
That's what happened. If I crashed and then I was like, okay, I don't think this is the right way to go.
yeah.
I've always raced super sport and super bikes in the past.
Hmm,
Then I said, okay, everyone, Kawasaki Ninja 400, and man, like trust me, just only because of that incident, changed my mind and then ended up getting a 400,
right.
and it's been great. I actually love riding the bike. You're minimizing the risk and you're learning a lot. You know,
Yeah.
it's a great bike to
Oh,
get it.
100%. The little bike
If you
thing,
can
yeah. I
if you
mean,
can max learn everything from a small bike, and then if you upgrade, I think you can be a better rider than just jumping on a super bike to start with, right?
well, not only
So
that,
that's
but
another reason
you're
why I got
spending your resources on actually riding instead of
yeah,
everything
yeah,
else?
yeah. And also with super sport and superbike, I was not really that competitive in the past. Maybe I've got multiple top tens and all of that,
Right.
but with the Ninja 400, I was started being competitive and won a championship and a lot of
Yeah.
podiums. See all my podiums on the top.
Oh yeah, I see your podiums.
All the FMCR. So that's why I started enjoying because now you're competitive. You can
Yeah,
get podiums, and then that's it
you get
keeps
to bring
pushing,
home the
keeps
the
pushing you. You
the
know.
AFM, $3 plastic trophies, and you're like, woo,
Yeah, yeah.
that's awesome.
Of course, yeah. That was the motivation I started enjoying, and I still think I'm not ready for a bigger bike, so I'm still racing for 400. I
So
still need to
you're still having
learn it.
fun on the little bike,
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
400?
of course, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
then who cares?
Still a lot to learn.
The
So, but
reality is, and this is something that a lot of us can't seem to admit, but
yeah,
dude, even if you were competitive, right? Even if you were competitive on let's just say you're competitive on a super sport or a super bike, you're over 40, bro. Like you're not getting the call. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
if
yeah.
there's a
You're
ride
maximizing your
available, it's
risk on a
probably
bigger
not
bike.
going to the 40-year-old dude, right?
Yep, 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 yep.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
have fun with it. I mean, that's what club racing is supposed to be, right?
yeah, yeah,
We're supposed to learn how to race, have a good time. The way
yeah,
I used to
yeah.
talk about club racing is that it's kind of like some people play golf, some people go camping in the desert with their side by
Yeah,
sides
yeah,
and shit. And
yeah.
we go camping at the racetrack and hang out and
Of
race with our
course. Yeah.
stab our buddy in the neck all day and then eat barbecue with them after. Like
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's the best part of club racing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome. And yeah, and Dustin, I wanted to mention, you're the one who put the CRA program together, right?
Yes.
Man, you did a great job. Man, I love
Well, I sold that
CRA.
shit, dude. So I
No, no,
don't
no,
know what's
absolutely. But
happening now, but
I just
like,
want to
yeah, like
give credit to you, and because
thanks.
when I did the NRO with you 3 years back, you were running CRA. I remember.
I was one of the people
And
running CRA. Yeah, like
yeah,
I would say that I'm a founding member of that club.
yeah,
I
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
got the wheels turning and then brought people
Right.
in with me to partner up
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then made them buy it from me.
yeah, yeah.
So
No, it's great. I mean,
I
I
don't like being
enjoy.
part of government, man. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
I
it's like when you're the guy, like I was kind of like the face, and so when something would go wrong, I was like, dude, don't talk to me, bro. Talk to this guy. But they would always come to me and complain to me about certain things. And I'm like, dude, I just want to go racing, dude.
yeah.
Like once we get here, dude, I'm off the clock, bro, But,
No, it's great. It's great to have multiple. I used to race in AFM and Vera 17 years back when I started,
okay,
and now AFM CRA, and I've got the membership for the CVMA. I would love to go there and race
nice,
Chakwala. I'm really
nice.
looking forward.
Dude, I
Uh,
tell you what, man, some of my people are kind of helping run in the race series there. And
yeah,
from what I've seen and what I saw when I was out there last last winter time, like December, I think. Dude, that's been the last time I raced actually. But when I was there, like I saw, and I actually pulled Cowboy aside. Like Cowboy's kind of like the ops guy for CVMA, and I was like, "Hey, man, just to let you know, dude, like you're doing good work here, because
yeah.
that place was there was some interesting crap going on there, and so Cowboy kind of took over and is
It's
making
great.
it
It's
better,
great.
making
Yeah, yeah.
improvements, and
I
dude,
see all the.
that club is super competitive in the wintertime, man.
It's very competitive. I see all the emails from the cowboy, and
Yeah,
they're doing a really great job.
yeah,
Even the start lights you see, it's like MotoGP style. They have
yeah.
all the
They have
lights
starting lights now, right?
they have from now. I saw the email. Yeah,
That's
it's amazing. Yeah, that's why I'm
yeah.
really excited. It's always great to go try different championship, and there's always something to learn. And when it's more competitive, then you get faster, right? You
Have
get
you found that if you go and race at another club or race somewhere else, and when you come back to your home club, you're quicker or more competitive?
absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
so? Like, what do you
No,
notice?
basically, like because you're going to the new track, you're learning everything on a new track, and I think when you go to the new track, you get faster and faster. Sometimes
Yeah.
you go to the same track all the time, and suddenly you go to the new tracks,
Right.
and then I think your mind, I think it's in your mind,
Yeah.
and then also you're learning a new track, you go faster, and then when you go back, I think you can take some experience
That's what
learning
the
from that and
AFM guys
go
back
back.
in the day, like this is like way back, way before your time even, but like
Yeah,
when WSMC was running, right?
yeah,
When
yeah,
WSMC was running, the AFM, like there always was like this NorCal versus SoCal thing, right?
yeah, yeah,
And the AFM guys, they were doing Thunder Hill, Sonoma, and Buttonwillow, I think. And shit, I don't know if they did a round at Reno or not, but they did some rounds, right? A bunch of different rounds, and every month
yeah,
we were at Willow. So
yeah,
they're
yeah,
like, hey, if you guys, if you kick my ass at Willow, that's cool. If you come to any of our tracks, we're gonna ruin you. Like I remember
yeah,
specifically that kind of thing. So
yeah,
what you're saying is right, man. Like it's been my experience too. Like you go and learn a new track, you ride somewhere else for a weekend or something, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
maybe you find things that you could tie that into your home thing.
yeah, yeah. No,
So
definitely.
it's
No,
cool.
like for example, because you brought the topic, I went to Podium Club my first time, and
Yeah,
I raced. Yeah, I love the track. I was
dude.
doing really good. Unfortunately, I crashed in the GT race. Two
Oh
corners to
shit.
go. Two corners to go.
You crashed in the 20 lapper or whatever it is,
The
18 lapper?
GT 12 lap race. Last two corners to go. I messed it up. I was trying to get this guy in the last corner. But anyway, I love the track. So when
Yeah.
I came back from Podium Club to Thunderhill, turn one, turn two, the left
Right.
hander, man, I started going really fast. I feel more comfortable leaning knee down and full throttle into that corner
So what
because
does
you
turn
see
one and two what does turn one and two remind you of at Podium Club?
the Podium Club. There's a lot of nice long sweepers, very
Right.
smooth, and then you learn how to go more faster into the when you have long corners, right?
Right.
Instead of like you're braking, you're entering and exiting really quick versus
Yeah.
you have long corners, then you're carrying a lot of speed, and you take it back to T Hill, and I got a lot faster now.
Well,
uh,
Podium Club I think is still the official test track of the Attack Yamaha program. So,
Absolutely, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's a lot of Motor America guys, they go there to test. It's
Yeah.
a great track. I love it. And I heard even Chuckwalla is a great track. It's very smooth
Yeah, Chuck
and
Ball is fun. It's got like long sweeping turns followed by decreasing radiuses if you're going
yeah, yeah,
clockwise.
yeah,
If you're
yeah,
going counterclockwise, those same corners become open radius exits.
yeah,
So it depends on what kind of fun you want to have, man. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah. No, I love the tracks where everything is smooth, like when you put your knee on the curb or something.
oh, you don't like bumpy
The-
tracks, dude?
No, not the track, but like when you go close to the curbs, Buttonwillow and Thunderhill, you don't want to be there. You put
Yeah,
you're gonna go down, right?
yeah,
But when you have smooth, you see in MotoGP World Superbike in European tracks, those
right,
guys are putting, like freaking shoulder
yeah,
elbows down.
right,
It's smooth, right? It's smooth.
yeah.
They're all always, basically going. You can't do that in Thunderhill or Buttonwillow because they're really rough. They're
Hey, so
like
uh,
bumpy.
let me ask you this: at Podium Club on your 400,
Yeah.
did you on the straightaway, that long ass straightaway, did you have time to microwave a burrito?
I know it's really, 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 really. I actually loved it. I know.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
man,
But you
like
got to brake really
that
hard though.
straightaway must
Yeah,
be an eternity on a little bike, dude.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like
It's
now
very, but
probably
I
how
actually love
fast
it because it's a
you know
good
how
time to
fast your bike
relax.
goes now? Like
It feels really slow. Dude, it really does. That's the only
I'm not
thing.
gonna
But
lie to you, it looks slow too.
of course, yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
most of the tracks you have more corners than the straightaways.
Yeah.
So of course you're having way too much fun in the corners, right?
Oh, for sure.
I'm like, dude, I'm like going around super bikes all the time, and it's crazy.
Yeah,
They
well,
getting me on the straight, and then I get them again. You're always fighting with them.
yeah.
But you enjoy more when you can go so fast in the corners and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
You learn a lot. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I know
It, it,
the superbike guys there, they're getting close. They're like in the 190s on
wow,
the
wow,
straightaway at
wow.
Podium Club. And
That's
they're
crazy.
literally I think they're entering it in second or third gear and they're, sixth gear. They're in sixth gear for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
And back shift down to first.
Yep, yep.
So,
Really? Oh
Oh
wow,
yeah.
first game.
Yeah, yeah. Bing, 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 bing,
Damn.
down to first. Yeah,
Wow. Okay, that's
because that,
crazy.
that they're trying to get their gearing is a little different too. They have a
Yeah,
different
yeah,
transmission and stuff, but yeah, I mean they're going down to first.
yeah. Okay, I was
Hmm.
doing the second on my 400. But yeah, it's definitely a huge change. I remember, I was doing probably 180, back in the race on a big bike.
Right.
Now I think it's like 110 or 120. It feels really
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah.
But of course you have all the fun in the corners. Yeah,
Well, everyone else is that you're racing against is going about the same, right? I mean, they're.
yeah, yeah.
I've seen you guys. You guys look like
Unless
an ant farm, right? I mean,
it's good.
you
It's
know.
pretty close racing, and the good thing, I mean, we are not lighter anymore. I'm 50 lbs more than I used to be in my 20s. Sometimes you have kids who are 100, 120 lbs.
Yeah,
They
there's
are
a
they.
there's a guy that races the stock 1000. His name is Trevor Watson. He's like this Honda guy, and he had a saying about that, and he says that we're not all built like Peter Pan,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Especially on small bikes, it makes a
Yeah,
huge
dude.
difference.
Yeah, I
I was I
bet.
was I was talking to Warhorse, Bobby.
Okay.
Actually, my bike was built by Warhorse Racing Team 2 years back.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
That's cool.
and then Bobby said every on a 400, every 7 pounds you lose one brake horsepower. So when you're racing with the little kids who are 70 pounds lighter than us,
Right.
10 brake horsepower. That's a lot
So basically,
because
what
these
you're
bikes
saying
only
is
have like
that
40 brake horsepower.
what you're saying is that you should have like a Clydesdale 400 class, right?
I mean, no, I know.
Or like
Yeah,
Formula
like
240.
how they had this argument in World Superbikes where they were saying
the
not just
m-
the bike, the rider weight, they have to
the
consider everything.
mandatory minimum weight. Yeah, I think they
Exactly.
did that, dude. They did that.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, and you see what happened too.
Yeah.
I mean, you see how much that added weight to the bike that the other guys didn't have to have.
No, it's a
How
valid
much that
point. Yeah,
affected Bautista, right? Like
yeah,
it
yeah,
affected his performance big time, I
yeah.
think.
Because it's a valid point where all the bikes are at same weight, and suddenly you have anywhere between 20 to 50 lbs difference between the riders. It's
Yeah.
going to make a difference, man. It's huge difference, right?
Right. Right.
But
Well, I
yeah,
mean, Bautista suffered because of that and the fact that I
yeah,
think he started the season off with an injury.
yeah, yeah,
So, both of those two things, and then you're racing against lunatics like Toprak and
yeah,
Bulaga and,
yeah,
Locatelli and those guys. Like, dude,
yeah.
like those guys are. I mean, Toprak's something else, dude. I don't even
It
know.
is something else. It's
Like,
he's
I mean,
crazy.
the other BMW guys aren't anywhere near him. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Toprak is a different level completely.
Yeah.
He's amazing. I love to watch him. In fact, when we were racing with Keenan and Fabian in 2012, 2014, Toprak just started. He was racing in Superstock.
Right.
He was already a Superstock champion,
He was already
Superbike.
a stock
He
champion, and he was already
yeah,
but he was just a kid.
he was a teenager. Yeah,
Oh shit.
under 20. Yeah, he was
Hmm.
on so much skill, but it took him so long in the Superbike class to win a championship with Yamaha. Of course, he was not in a factory. He was in a satellite team, right? And then
Hmm.
he got a factory ride in Yamaha, and then he won a championship. And then now look with BMW, most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah. I
mean,
mean,
we
when was the last
actually,
time BMW won a World Superbike Championship?
yep, yep. I think I don't know, 30 years. I don't know. It's been
Ever?
I don't
Like
remember
ever?
exactly, but it's been really long time.
Right?
And Toprak is amazing. Yeah, he got 13 wins in a row. Um, he should have
Yeah.
been a champion by now already if he didn't miss the 2 rounds from his crash. But I think most likely next in Harris
I mean, the dude is
this
next
weekend he
level. I
should
mean,
get it.
Cody Krager is saying he wonders if Toprak would be doing as good if Bautista, didn't have that added weight. And I'm like, yeah, he would.
Yeah,
He would.
yeah,
Because Bautista's a beast, but
yeah,
one thing that we've seen of him the last several years is he'll throw away bikes all the time.
yeah, yeah.
Toprak doesn't really crash a lot of bikes. Not
No,
really.
no, no,
I
no.
mean,
It's
like that
it's
those last
amazing.
couple and that big one, man. Like, dude, if he was what 2 feet to the right, that would have been it, dude. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that last one. So
Yeah, I don't know. It was a crazy crash. I can't believe he recovered so well as well. He's so fit.
Yeah.
And then Lucky, he
But
went
didn't
and fixed his
Safoglu kind
back.
of ride like that on a super sport? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. Kenan, man, he's a legend, amazing racer back in the days.
yeah.
Kenan and
Well, he's involved
Kenan,
in Top Rack's program,
Kenan
right?
completely, yeah. In fact, Kenan is basically manager for Toprak and a rider coach.
Yeah.
And if you see Fabian Foray, he was one-time world champion, Kenan 5 times. For Fabian Foray, up to now, since he's retired, he's a rider coach for Jonathan Ria.
Okay.
So both are riders, retired, and they are coaching. They were coaching Toprak and Jonathan Ria,
Yeah.
who has 9 world champions together.
Right.
Like I
It
mean,
seems pretty
ninth is
common.
coming for Toprak.
It does.
You need that kind of support
Right.
for a rider, and of course, Kinnan is definitely behind Toprak's success. There's no
Well,
doubt.
Chavi Flores, I had him on. I can't remember if it was this year or last year or whatever, but Chavi, that dude is like, he was the rider coach in MotoGP for Jorge Martin and Johan
Yeah,
Zarco,
yeah, yeah.
right?
I
Like,
heard
what,
that
dude?
from I heard that from your podcast, and I
Yeah.
was like, amazing,
Like,
yeah.
what? And then Marco
That's
Melandri,
that's the
Marco
thing. Like,
Melandri was coaching some dudes, and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
he's not really doing that anymore. I think he's doing like the DJ thing or something.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Tony Tony Elias, like that
Yep.
dude is coaching people.
He was coaching,
So
yeah. In fact, I was riding with Tony a couple years back in Laguna Seca Raceway. He was coaching, and I
yeah,
think he got a great opportunity to move back to Europe with the Moto2 team now.
yeah,
Like
he was with
he's
Grassini. I don't know if he's still with Grassini, but he might
yes,
still be. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like he's coaching. I think they're Moto two guys or
He's
whatever.
in Moto2 team, yeah, yeah.
Right. So that's
Yeah,
kind of a neat opportunity, right?
that's great, yeah.
Right. So what do you know? What do you race in all the different clubs in California? Is there one that stands out for you better than another one? Do you like take do you pick and choose? Or are there things about one club that
Um,
you wish the other ones would do?
I try to make all rounds, AFM and CRA. Basically the idea is to, just go and have fun. I don't have, both championships are great. Of
Right.
course, they run in a different way because I like the way how CRA is because, when you race CRA, you have the AMA membership, right?
Right.
Actually, right now AFM is not part of that, but CRA
Yeah.
is. So you race CRA or CVMA, then you actually
Okay.
get points, right?
Oh,
And
you mean points
to
to
go
be
race in
promoted to. Oh,
Moto
so
America
do
or
you have
something.
aspirations to race Moto America?
It's all skill, right?
Yeah.
If I can, I don't want
I
to go
think you're
there and
not old. I think you're a
embarrass
little
myself.
you're over the threshold to race Junior Cup or whatever that is now.
If I have the skill, of course, why not?
Right
But
on.
of course, I want to be competitive. I don't want to go there and be 25th or
No, what I
30th
mean
down.
and what I meant by that was like, is there something that, CVMA has that you wish AFM did, or if CRA does it, you wish AFM did it, or vice versa?
Uh, the only thing I would say is, in CRA they have, practice and they have qualifying, and then the grid is all based on the qualifying, like
Okay.
how it is.
Yeah,
Um,
CVMA does
yeah.
that too,
See,
I
of
think.
course, yeah. And AFM doesn't do that.
Hmm.
I mean, hopefully, it's different. And also another thing is, this is another difference that, definitely affects me because I'm on a 400cc and they have lightweight,
Hmm.
ultra lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight
Hmm.
in CRA. AFM, they only have lightweight. And then basically 400s are racing with R7s or 660s, these bikes. It doesn't make
Hmm.
sense. There's no
Okay.
way, I'm going to be competitive with those bikes, right? So
That's
I
just for
wish
that's for the practice groups. Is that what you're saying?
the classes they have
Oh, the
multiple
classes.
classes.
Oh,
So
okay.
what so because all the twins bikes they all
Yeah.
fall under the lightweight. So
Okay.
you're talking about
Okay.
SV650s, RS660s, R7s, you know Kramers, all these KTM, these
Right.
bikes they fall under the lightweight. They don't.
That makes
It's not
sense.
super sport, right?
That makes sense. Well, you know
So
what? I could give you a little of my insight on that and why that is.
yeah,
Um, and Berto and I I've been friends with Berto Woolridge, the old
Yeah,
president of AFM, for
of course.
years, right? Like I've known
Hmm.
that guy for like we were novices together back in the day, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And we talked about this quite a bit. And basically, the newer clubs, CVMA came out in 2011. I was involved in that too. And
wow.
then, CRA came out, 2021,
Yeah, three
and
three years back.
AFM came out like 60 years ago.
70.
Yeah, so,
This
yeah,
is
whatever.
this is 70th year, the
Yeah,
oldest
bro. Yeah.
oldest
So,
racing
like,
club in the US.
dude, like, I mean, you've got the brand new that's, brand new speedboat, and you're able to be like, nope, that didn't work, and then quickly veer off course and do something else to try to make it work. Whereas when you're 60 or 70, um, that speedboat, which was bitching 70 years ago, is like, takes so quite a bit longer to
Yep.
steer the boat in that direction.
No,
And it seems
absolutely.
like AFM's headed that direction. It's just, you know,
Absolutely.
and
I
there's
think
like
they can't just change
government
things.
politics in
No,
there,
absolutely. Yeah, they have,
AFM,
few all board members. I think everyone has to agree to a certain thing, and it
yeah,
takes time, right? Like
right.
like any other organizations.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think with CRA, they can make a quick call if they wanted to see, and they make
Oh,
quick
100%.
changes.
Yeah,
Uh, you
yeah.
know,
Yeah,
I
the
I
biggest
I,
thing
I
the
definitely
biggest thing
gave
for
gave
these.
the feedback to Dave. Like
Oh,
saying
did you?
I've known Dave for 18 years.
Oh, no shit.
He's been helping me with
So you
suspension
remember
design
Dave when he would roll out on
all the
that
time. Yeah,
Ford pickup with the flames on it and shit, and
absolutely.
he was like the motorbike suspension nomad, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
I don't even know if he had roots. He was like living in the like he was the man in the truck, kind of
yeah.
in
I
flip
love
flops.
Dave. I love Dave. He's a great guy. He's done so much for California racing and all the club racing,
Yeah,
and he's
good
still on it.
dude.
He's still on it. Literally, Dave always helps you out, and he's
Yeah,
amazing. And
he's a good dude. Dave
yeah,
Moss is always a good dude. I mean, I don't believe I've ever had him tune my suspension. I think he did suspension tuning for us at track days, like at Willow. Like I said, back when he was the old
yeah,
suspension nomad guy, like, he would show up in that truck and with his flip
uh-huh.
flops and everything. But, I haven't really, I see Dave when I go up there, or
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would see him at like different nationals and stuff, but I don't really interact with Dave too much anymore
yeah,
because I'm
yeah,
not really racing so much anymore.
yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
he's with Carter's and Fun Track Days.
Okay. So he's still
So
doing the suspension guy
yeah,
stuff,
yeah, of course, absolutely, yeah.
but I think
Actually,
he
that's
was
one of the
operating
reason. That's
he
one
was
of the
operating
reason.
under Catalyst's reaction tuning. That was his company, and I think he sold that, and now
Oh,
it's
okay, I didn't
what's
know
it
that.
called now?
Dave Moss tuning.
Ah, okay.
I mean, even my track days, only because Dave is there, I have a season pass with, Fun Track Days.
Oh,
Yeah, and
okay.
I love the VIP program they have.
Okay.
Maybe I'm not sure if you know how Fun Track Days, Augie, his season pass is amazing. They call it VIP
They call
and
it what?
VIP,
Oh,
like a
okay.
VIP season
Yeah.
pass. So what that does, no one else does it. You can go ride any group you want, all three groups, anytime. You just basically go,
Hmm.
and they have, like they have a separate lane.
Hmm.
They have like three lanes.
Okay.
When you enter the track, and they have a separate lane. So basically, it's like a professional team testing, right? You just
Mhm.
go. If there's 20, 25 riders, you just go on the VIP lane and just head out and test. And then,
Oh,
especially when you're on tire warmers, you don't want to be waiting behind 20 guys. By the
right.
time you start, it's not good
Hmm.
anymore, right?
Interesting.
So yeah, last couple years, that's why I was doing that. Basically, it's your flexibility. You just go ride whenever you want. The
Hmm.
whole day is for you, and yeah, maybe you can think about it. You have now. What I love about your season pass is you also include Laguna Seca. I was really wanted to get the season pass from track days, but my schedule did not because I think I spoke to you early this year and my schedule was not matching with three or
Right.
four of your track days, so I didn't end up getting that.
Right.
But this is something, if you give an option for them to ride any group or maybe even two
Yeah, we're
groups.
working on something, man. Like,
uh,
I mean, I don't know about any group because you don't really want a bunch of racers in the beginner group. That's
yeah,
just doesn't make sense.
that's one tricky.
Yeah, it's very tricky.
I actually got into trouble for that reason.
I mean,
The
yeah,
last
dude.
crash I
Like,
had, that's what happened. I was riding in B group, but what happened was there's a lot of C group guys jumped into B because it was full.
mm,
And then, you know, especially with 400, you're braking way late into the corner. And then
wow.
I go there, and there's three guys just sitting there and not moving. And then I went and bumped into a guy. Luckily, he didn't fall, but I
You went and
crashed.
bumped into a guy.
Yeah, and I couldn't
That's always good to
stop in
bump
time
into a
because I
new
was not.
guy.
I
Way
mean,
to go, buddy. You crushed
some
this
guy.
dude's dreams. He's probably
But
quit.
this is your right. This is one thing. It's a little tricky when A group riders end up in C or B. Then it's a huge difference.
Yeah, dude, I
And
can't
then
do it. I'm not doing that.
it's, yeah, yeah,
I won't do that because, like, we spend a lot of work making sure the beginner program, the C group, is well organized, and I have the coaches ready to help those
yeah,
people get going. And the worst thing you could do is throw a bunch of motorbike racers in there while people are trying to learn how to ride on the
yeah,
racetrack.
yeah.
I'm not
You
I'm
just
not
have to
down with
wait.
that. It
Yeah,
won't happen.
yeah. But I mean, most of you guys, all your coaching, the trainers, they go ride in C group anyway, right? Later in the
Well,
day.
no, my guys don't use C group for that. When my guys are in C
Oh,
group, they're working
oh, okay, got it.
100%.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
I'm working, dude. I'm the one doing all the stupid two up rides,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You've seen it,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
All
It's
day, you're
only
like, oh, he's out on the two up
when you're
again.
trying to go
Okay,
fast and learn something, and then suddenly you have, a lot of people on your way. It doesn't really work. It's not that
right?
effective.
Yeah,
So I don't ride in C group anyway. I stopped doing
yeah,
that because of that
yeah. That makes
experience.
no sense. Yeah, it's not.
But
You're not. It's not going to help you, and it could create issues on track with a rider that, like I said, they're trying to learn how to ride on the track, and you're trying to go fast.
yep, yep, yep.
Those two scenarios never work,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So, and
yeah.
that's how people end up on the internet and whining and complaining on the internet about what happened, like that. Uh,
Yeah.
don't do
Unfortunately,
that.
you don't know what to expect on track days. It's very, very unpredictable. So
Right, right.
it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Cody Krager is like, dude, they're groups for a reason. Exactly,
No,
exactly.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Mm.
um, what do you do for a living, dude? Like, I mean, racing motorbikes and all this travel. Like, what's your gig?
No, so I was always in tech, and then now I'm a tech entrepreneur. Bunch
Hmm.
of investments. I have a company in
Okay.
the UK and US,
Okay.
mostly in tech related stuff.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
I try. I'm more busy now raising the family, and whenever I get time, I'm trying to race.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so how like we talked about it earlier, my interaction with your wife, and I talked to her for a little bit at when I was at Thunder Hill the last time.
yeah, yeah.
But how do you can keep your wife putting up with this crap?
It's getting hard. It's getting it's not easy, especially when you have a crash like that, and
Yeah.
then and then she has to leave the kid, with with her babysitter, and then
Yeah.
just come all the way. She drove all night, and then came to the hospital, and then it
Right.
took me a few days to get
Come
out of the
around.
hospital,
Yeah.
and then after 3 4 months, she had to take full care of the kid. My kid was a 2 year old,
Oh, wow.
he's 5 now. So yeah, these kind of things happen, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
But
So
I
there's like
definitely
that
have to
element of
stay.
risk there, right? There's that
Definitely
element
have
of
to
risk that
stay.
you gotta.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
of course, yeah. But
Right on.
when you have things like this, it's always in the mind, and always, it's a lot of hard work for her, and she's got a pretty big, crazy job too.
Okay.
It's not easy, but I definitely love what she does, support, and as a Indian, she's also Indian, so
Oh, okay.
it's not easy for a lot of people to support, right? Not just Indian, a lot of them. I'm like, dude, how does your wife let you do this?
Right.
Unless they have the same passion, it's not
Right.
easy.
So do you
But it's like that you just manage and
right.
try to keep it going.
So do you have any plans to build a different bike, or you have plans to just continue the 400 this season
No,
next
this
year?
no, next year I don't know. I might be jumping into the twins class.
Hmm.
Um, not sure yet. I will decide after the CVMA.
Okay, so like you're
Yeah.
you're thinking of like in twins, you're thinking of because AFM's weird, right? Like, is it twin? Is it like an
Uh,
old is it a big
it's
Ducati twin, or is it like
most likely an Aprilia
R7 kind of thing?
R7 Aprilia,
Okay,
um, or Kramer. These three bikes,
Kramer. Okay,
Kramer is these three bikes are in that class, like lightweight. Um, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
all right, that's cool.
It's based on the
Do you have your? Are you trying to get sponsors more to help with that, or how?
definitely. I'm always trying to get sponsors,
Yeah,
and I do have some sponsors. I have
I
like
see them all
a lot of
printed on your
capital.
shirt there, bud. So,
It's most
so
of them
who's
are.
helping you out, man? Who do you want to give a shout out to, bro?
I mean, shout out to anyone who are interested in motorsports. The problem is I have a lot of friends who sponsor a lot of other sports. It's
Right,
hard to convince them to sponsor motorsport because you need to have the passion, right?
right,
And if I mean, I race anyway, so I definitely love to help brands to promote and all of that.
right
And
on.
I mean, last couple years I have few sponsors, and it's not like they're giving me cash or anything. I try to make some business deals for them, and I promote them, you know
Hmm,
that kind of stuff. For
cool.
example, this wax, this is like I don't know if you can see. So
The wax.
wax, you see,
I it.
VAGS.
So what's the wax
But
thing?
anyway, wax is, these guys are in India. There's like a charging network. Again, you're not into EVs. So so they uh they build charging network
Okay.
throughout. For example, like Tata, it's like an Indian car manufacturer.
Okay.
They own Jaguar Land Rover.
Oh wow.
So very big company. Tata is like Tesla or anything, right? So they have a contract with Tata to go build charging network for all the electric cars. It's still beginning for India, the electric car market. It's nothing like
Right.
here, nothing like here. So they go build charging network around India, and then if they have any new residential or commercial, like in the parking lots,
Right.
everything they build. So that's what they do.
That's crazy, man.
And because like I said, I'm an EV guy for 9 years, fully into EV.
Oh, dude, fully
Um,
no. I had to like stop looking at your Twitter because I was like, nah, dude. Nope.
Yeah. So actually, just because we're
Uh,
talking about EVs, so for during pandemic, I had a
yeah.
lot of free time, right? Just before started racing, I worked in Tesla for a couple years,
Oh yeah.
and I mean, my goal was to actually try and reach Elon to propose a marketing plan.
Okay.
And this is very interesting. No, I never talked much about this, but it's related to racing. So I actually pitched an idea for Elon and a lot of other people working under
Right.
him. So the plan was to have Tesla the safety car program in World Superbikes.
Wow.
You know who is
Okay.
the safety car program now?
Who?
Dodge. Dodge. For the
Hmm.
last, yeah, but for 4 years back I pitched an idea. I got this plan from Volkswagen bikes. I mean, of course I know the Volkswagen bike management because
Right.
from my previous experience. But man, it didn't work out. Tesla would not spend any money in marketing.
Hmm.
And but anyway, it's
Well, they don't
amazing to.
need to. They got a bunch of people like you talking how great they are on Twitter,
Absolutely, absolutely. And
right?
Elon doesn't need any marketing. He markets himself, right? But
Right.
anyway, that was another thing. I'm always trying to get something involved in motorcycles because this is what I wanted to do all the time. And
Hmm.
then as long as I'm riding or I'm involved in some kind of motorcycle world, that would make me happy.
Oh wow, man.
This is what I mean. Like even now, we're trying to put a Motor 2 team together. So
What?
I mean, we basically find investment.
Okay.
But I talked to a lot of teams, and in Italy, Spain, and Moto 2, it's all about bringing an investment, right?
Right.
So if I can find the right investor, anything is possible.
Wow.
So man, like there's a lot of things go around, but unless it's there, then you don't talk much about it. But these are
Yeah,
the things I always try to do. And
I dig
you
it.
in World Superbike MotoGP, it's not easy when you have to. There are some team owners.
What?
There are some team owners who are billionaires.
They're what?
There are some billionaires who own the teams.
Mm.
I mean, I don't want to mention any particular names, but there are a lot of teams who are really, really big, and they actually just use this as a marketing expense to run the teams.
Hmm.
MotoGP World Superbikes.
Wow.
Look
I'd like to
Trackhouse
have that problem.
look Trackhouse MotoGP as example, right?
Right.
They're not small. They're so big. I don't know if you looked into that. The guys who own Trackhouse is a billionaire, and then we have Pitbull.
Hmm.
Pitbull is one of the owner of the team.
Hmm.
He's a legend, right? Singer. And then we have a NASCAR racer. They're the top of
Hmm.
Trackhouse MotoGP, and that's what they're doing it.
That's crazy.
This is what you need the back. When we ran the team, is the same thing. We had like a big sports celebrity. We had a movie star in India, and then we had a really big investor. So you need to get everything together. It's not easy. If you
Yeah.
can't, but you got to try. If you
Wow.
try, anything is possible.
I
And
like
like I
your
said,
attitude, man. I like your
man,
enthusiasm for the
this is
sport
this
too,
is
man.
this is this is the passion. Nothing is too big or too small. You just have to have an idea and just go for it. And
Wow.
anything can happen. But
Wow.
yeah, it's all about time and time too, right? You know, right
Yeah.
now, like I said, I'm just busy here, with the family, and I'm racing, so I don't have so much time to just go wherever I want.
Right.
So back in the days, I remember, like when you're talking to so many people from different countries, and then I have a meeting in Italy, and then I just take the flight and go to have this meeting.
Right.
There's so many things.
And now
Like
you're
I had,
like, I gotta
and then
wait till
like
2 weeks from
for example,
now.
you got to do these kind of things. And I was when we were trying to put this team together. Of course, it took me 2 years. We were talking to so many different people, motorsport enthusiasts, so many investors. So one time I was in Gran Canaria Islands in Spain, and then there was an Bollywood actor, John Abraham. I talk to him all the time. He was in London for some shooting or some work, and he said, "Hey, I'm free. If you want to meet up in a day, we can meet." And then I took the next. I stopped. I was there for a 2 week holiday. I stopped my holiday for a week. I take the next flight and go to London to meet this guy the next
Wow.
day. So these kind of things, you got to be on it, and then you keep trying, and then
Right.
it happens.
Wow.
Uh, you need all the time in the world, and
Do
just
you
focus to
look
do this
back
thing.
fondly on those that World Supersport Championship with Safoglu?
No, it's amazing. It's it's
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. These are the kind of things which you can't even dream of.
Oh, dude.
As a kid growing up, just buying a super bike was my dream. Forget about racing, right?
World
Y-
Championships.
Forget about all this, right?
Yeah.
But but if you put an effort, anything is possible. Dreams.
Wow.
That's what they say. Dreams come true, and just living the dream. you
Wow,
know
man.
it's unbelievable what we did in the world championship. So far there is no other team that won a team championship
Hmm.
in world superbike or MotoGP. As of now there is no Indian team
Wow.
in both the championships. And surprisingly, even in the AFM championship, 70 years, I'm the only Indian to win a championship.
I mean, is
Play,
it
play.
really surprising though?
There's not many people.
Like
No, I
how
think
many of
it
you are there?
not many. Not anyone. So yeah, I mean, not many people want to do this. They want to play safe
Right.
bet. How many people want to go there and go all in
Right.
and follow the passion, right? Not many. But
Right.
it's getting there. 17 years back when I started track days and racing, there was hardly not forget about Indians.
Oh,
There were
there
no Asians. Only white,
well,
mostly just white
you know what?
American
Like,
dudes
I mean,
racing.
I've been doing this
Hardly
for a
anyone.
long time. I've been doing this for
Yeah.
a long time, and there seems to be it started out in Fresno. Like, we always would get these Asian dudes, like a big group of them from Fresno area.
Oh,
And we
yeah.
still, we still get quite a few of those guys out to the truck. We see them.
Now there are a
Um,
lot. Now
and
there are a lot.
there was
Yeah.
like 3 Indians, you know. I think we're
You know,
still around
you
3
know,
or 4 right now.
yeah. Probably Amit Patel. You know Amit Patel? It was only me and him.
Yes.
He's not Indian. He's American. He never he was not born in India. He never grew up in India.
Right.
So he is basically American, Indian American.
Right.
But he's racing cars now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's racing cars, but he used to race motorcycles. He lives in Fresno. You probably know. Me and Amit, we did a lot of track days back
Right.
in the days.
Yeah.
With track days,
Yeah.
not so called. But now you see, you go to the track. There's so many. Every time I go to track day, I see a lot of different Asians and 3, 4 Indian guys, and yeah, it's great. It's great to see
Usually you see the
a lot
Indian
of
guys
people are
when you stay at
getting
the
into the
motels
sport.
at Buttonwillow, right?
Stay in the hotel.
If you stay in the motels at Buttonwillow, you see a lot of Indian guys because they own all of them, like, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And the gas
absolutely.
stations too.
A lot, yeah, yeah. In
Yeah.
fact, Amit Patel was talking about his dad owns a huge hotel as well near Monterey Bay,
No
Salinas.
kidding. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the
Yeah,
deal
yeah.
is. Like, I mean,
No,
eh,
they're just
the
basically,
motels,
you.
the motels at Buttonwillow. You know what? That's a good one for you. Like, you race at Thunder Hill, you race at Buttonwillow, right? You've been out to Chuckwalla. Like, what what's your
I
you
do
stayed in all those crappy motels, right?
long
So
time back. I don't stay in motels anymore.
no?
The worst the only thing I mean, sometimes you get bed bugs, and I did have that
Dude,
experience in the past. Now I don't. I stay in my RV at the track.
man,
But
right?
man, like 17 years back, of course, you put your bike on a pickup truck, you go to the track and,
Hell yeah.
stay in a motel, right? I wish they had more hotels near the tracks. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
they don't.
I
And
mean, Thunder Hill's okay, Buttonwillow's okay. I mean, you can go north or south, 10 minutes, you're there, boom.
yeah, yeah,
Chuck Wallace got those cabins that are, you know,
yeah, that's
they're
great. But
pretty
you
mint.
can you can never get them. They're always booked.
Well, you gotta be
Booked.
quick, dude. You gotta be quick,
Yeah, you got to
right?
plan everything ahead of
Oh,
schedule.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
plan everything ahead. Well, you know what, Deeps, man, it's been a good chat, bro. Like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
a character, man. Like I had
Man, Dustin, thanks a lot. I appreciate
yeah, dude. Like
you
you
taking your
you
time and talking to me, man.
you throwing out all this random stuff. I'm just like, wow, bro. Like you're a
Yeah, yeah.
character.
It's
And
a
like you're
long, crazy 17-year journey
yeah.
into the motorcycle world I was dreaming of,
My
and
wife wants to know
and
if you're in the kids' room right now.
no, 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 no. This is kind of my office space, but my kid,
Okay.
his toys are everywhere. I think
Okay.
I see the Mickey there.
All right. Right
His
on.
toys are everywhere, all over the house.
Well,
But
because Lily says that she sees Mickey Mouse in the background. So
yep,
like,
yep, yep. I
yeah.
see that. I see that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're a Disneyland dad,
his
apparently. Good
toys are
times.
everywhere.
Good times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hey,
I wasn't
Dustin,
even I was looking at
yeah.
your trophies, bro. Like I didn't see Mickey Mouse, like
Of course. Yeah, yeah. Man,
right on.
actually, Dustin, great talking to you. I'm going to see you again in next week, November 2nd, 3rd.
Yeah, November. Yeah, the next track days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
next track
second and
days. Yeah,
third.
we're planning to be there with a lot of Mr. Gonzo Racing.
Oh,
Or
badass.
hey,
That's cool.
he's going to be there. Chris Starr and but a lot of guys. They're going to race 400
Oh,
off
that's
season.
cool.
Off season. So
That's good.
we're all planning to come there, Buttonwillow to test, and then do some
Well, thank you for the pep rally
CVMA
track day.
racing. That's the plan. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Always,
So
when we go
just
to
a heads up,
Buttonwillow.
everybody. Everybody,
Yeah,
we're hosting an event at Buttonwillow that Deeps is talking about.
yeah.
We have November 2nd and 3rd. Saturday, we're gonna go course configuration number 1 counterclockwise. And then
Wow.
Sunday, we're gonna be course configuration 13 clockwise.
13. Okay.
So,
So
the
Sun.
I guess you could call Sunday your normal AFM config.
Yeah,
Saturday is the opposite way. So, come out, wear your tires out on both sides,
yeah.
you know, 2 tracks in a weekend basically, right? So,
That's
that's what we're
awesome.
doing.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you next week, Dustin.
Yeah, and everybody
Yeah.
watching this thing, thanks for watching this, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
See you guys.